Hi guys, my name is David and today I'm going to be talking about a poetry book that I heard about on BookTube, but I wasn't anticipating on reading it during the month of June, and that being I Am Not Your Final Girl by Claire C.Holland. I have heard about this book several times on BookTube. It's not to an insane degree, but if you look you can find it. I first found out about this book on Cherry Actually Reads' channel. I will link her down below. She's awesome. But I recently watched B from B Reading doing her little video on this book, and it got me really interested in it. I knew it was a poetry book going into it, and it wasn't like a linear story. So from a span of about 2 hours, I watched her video and I finished reading the whole of the collection. So I will have a link down below to B's video for this collection in case you're wondering. So before I get started, this is going to be a spoiler-free video, and this is going to be my own thoughts and feelings regarding this book. Also guys, please keep in mind that this is the second poetry book that I've ever read, so I am not familiar about poetry, but I know what I like and I know what I don't like. The first one, in case you're wondering, that I read was T.S. Eliot's All Possum's book on practical cats, and basically if you know either the movie or the musical Cats, this is what it's based on. So, I Am Not Your Final Girl opens up with an introduction from Claire herself, and it isn't super long. It's about a page and a half long, but being a guy, I found it extremely bashing towards white men. I don't know whether it was her intention to do that, but it came across that way. She talks about how white, rich politicians are corrupt, and they are always bashing women. And being a white man, I was nearly going to DNF this book. If I just found this book on my own and I read that introduction, I would have DNF'd it even before I even started the book, because it made me feel a bit uncomfortable, really, to be honest. But I stuck with it. As I said, Claire does actually say at the back of it, because it does actually have a little bit about her life as an author and her personal life as well, and it does say that she has a husband. But I know that women nowadays are bombarded by what they need to physically look like and what they need to wear. Like every time I go into work, I always see like posters and advertisements about outfits and makeup, and I know that there are some men out there that look down on women, but I'm not that type of guy. I like strong women. I like women in power. I see loads of strong women every time I look on BookTube. So yeah, I mean, do whatever you want. That's what I say. So I thought that this poetry collection was going to be about, because it's about horror. It's about horror movies. It's about Final Girl, the last one standing, at the end of each horror movie. But I thought that these poetry collections were going to be about at the end of each movie, or the corresponding movie, and it was going to be a poem about the end of the movie. But that's not what it is. It's just it doesn't spoil any of these movies to you guys. So if you're reading this and you come across a movie that you haven't watched yet, don't think, oh my god, I need to skip that one because it'll tell me what happens. And don't worry, it doesn't tell you what happens in the story. It doesn't tell you what happens to the characters. It just gives you a flavour and a taste about that specific female character in that movie. You may be wondering, does it bash men? I mean, in these poems? Yes and no. It does it very, very slightly, but I only saw that as the male characters in the movie, being a bunch of a-holes. But yeah, they were really, really good. They were really great. A lot of these movies I didn't know what they were, but I've written down a list of the ones that I can remember, and they are Rosemary's Baby, The Descent, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, The Ring, Ginger Snaps, which is a fantastic movie, you should watch that. The Witch, A Black Christmas, the original, Silence of the Lambs, Carrie, and Evil Dead, and that's just to name a few. And they were really cool. They differ in length, like some of them are only about 5 lines long and some of them are several pages long. And this book is split up into 4 different sections, and they are called Assault, Possession, Destruction, and Transformation. I'm not sure why Claire put them sections in this book. You would think that the poems in that section would correspond to the title. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure, but I thought that she could have just taken them out and just had all the poems one after the other. This is kind of like a coffee table book where you can just like pick it up and read it, or if you're waiting for a bus or if you're waiting for an appointment, you can just take it out and read a poem. I will just read you one that I liked, just so it gives you a taste about the writing style in this book. And this is one that I'm going to be reading from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and at the top of each poem, obviously it has what movie it's based on and the year that it was released, and also it has the character's name that the poem's actually based on as well. So this one is based on a character called Sally. It's been a while since I've seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, guys, so apologies for that, but this is what the poem says. Her face, bathed in blood, her smile crazed, the sounds she makes as she escapes. There is nothing else in this world like realizing you're going to live and not being sure you can. So I'm not saying that that was my favourite poem in this collection. It was just one that stuck with me, not because it was really short, but I don't know. Life's hard as it is, no matter whether you're a guy or a girl, and that one just short and sweet and to the point, and I liked it. I'm not saying that again that was my favourite one. Obviously there's there's poems in this book that I liked more than others, but as I said, I am not well versed in poetry. So what I liked about this book is that obviously it's based on horror movies, and you can tell that Claire is very passionate about horror movies, and it gives you like a wide range of movies that you may have heard of and movies that you may not have actually heard of before. And I liked them how they were really short, and I wasn't quite sure what to make of them, but I enjoyed reading them. It's nothing really completely mind-blowing to actually read, but as I said, I'm very new into poetry, but I liked them for what they were. And what I disliked about this book was, as I said at the start of this video, the introduction where Claire was a bit bashing towards males. It was a bit uncomfortable to read, but it was really short. It was about a page and a half long. Yeah, that was the only thing that I felt uncomfortable while I was reading this book. So when I was thinking about what I should rate this, I wasn't quite sure. So I have decided to give it a 3 stars out of 5. So in conclusion, if you like horror movies, and if you want to read something a bit different, if you are trying to get into poetry, or if you don't know if poetry is going to be your thing or not, I'm not saying that this is going to be Shakespeare or anything, but it was a really interesting read. I'm still not really sure about what I made of it, but I did enjoy it for what it was. So if you like horror movies, and if you're trying to get into poetry, or if you want to know if poetry is going to be your thing or not, then yeah, I would give this one a go. It's really short. It's not going to take you too much of your time to read. From the moment I actually watched B's video to the moment I finished this book, it was about 2 hours. So it's not going to take up too much of your time. So yeah, I would definitely give this a try. So that's it, guys. That is my review on I Am Not Your Final Girl by Claire C.Holland. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment down below, let me know if you've read this, if I've maybe encouraged you to pick this book up. If you have enjoyed this video as a whole, please consider subscribing to my channel, as it helps out so much. If you do subscribe, please click on that bell so it tells you about whenever I upload videos, which are every Monday and Friday. I will also have a link down below to my Goodreads account in case you want to follow me on Goodreads and see what I'm reading or message me or whatever. And with all that out the way, have a great day, read some awesome books, and I will see you all in my next video.